One was that yes, there was a coup, people were killed, people were happy all over Nigeria. Everybody was celebrating that, oh, we're going to change everything. But then they noticed that, like I say, they kill everybody but their own people. One. Number two, the people who organized the coup, their salaries were paid, allowances were paid while they were in prison. One second though. You know, there's no way we're going to have sessions like this and not have fools come around. Even God had meeting in the book of Job and Satan came. So I have to be muting them from time to time. All right. So what you see essentially is that they were happy to even see changes. As a matter of fact, from this document, in Kano, in Katsina, in Zaria, when ministers returned home from Lagos, people were jeering at them. They were, molesting them in the streets because they were happy that there was change. Everybody was okay with it until they noticed that the people that were killed, no prominent Igbo man was killed. Listen, nobody's going to be able to get out of that stuff forever. There's no need to fight it. It's the reality. There's no need to fight it. Igbos were not killed. No single major person who was Igbo. Number two, those who organized the coup, they were not court-martialed. They were detained, yes, but while they were detained, they were being paid. How can you detain a person and be paying them salary? And you think you're looking for justice? People will know that you're lying now. No, you're lying. Number three, besides hearing things that the federal government wanted to do that the North was not going to like. Number four, the attitude of some Southerners. Let's stop playing around. It's not Southerners, it's Igbo. You're going to hear about them when we get to Shehu Shagari's book. It says the attitude of some Southerners living in the North who became less friendly and provocative by displaying pictures of Major Nzogu and the late Sardauna and commenting that the country is now in their hands and no more in the hands of Northerners. And then there were articles and comments in the Gaskia Tafi Kwabo reporting such incidents, in adding here and there that as far as the North was concerned, the situation was hopeless. Thus, a feeling of resentment and fear was created in the minds of ordinary people. So what you see here essentially is this. There were rumors that they were going to kill more people in the North. They were going to keep more officers in the North. That rumor was out there. Number three, sorry, I don't even know what number I am now. Is it number 4, number 5? There was something that was meant to happen that Iransi should have done. Let me read something to you from the book by Shehu Shagari now. It says here, in the meantime, another issue had cropped up on my return to Sokoto. Major General Iransi invited the Sultan, Sir Abubakar III, to Lagos for consultation. The Sultan consulted his traditional cabinet. We reasoned that acceptance of the invitation might be misconstrued as a tacit support for Iransi's increasingly disagreeable conduct of public affairs. Accordingly, we advised the Sultan to convey an explanation disobliging the request. A man of wide sympathies, the Sultan rejected our conclusion, recalling that he had once visited Lagos, February 1945, at the instance of Sir Arthur Richards, the British colonial governor. So he was even more inclined to accept the same invitation from a Nigerian head of state. It was a day-long visit on 12th March 1966, during which the Sultan delivered a reassuring speech to troops, many of them Northerners. Major General Iransi was happy to have the Sultan in Lagos, for he was trying to stem the gathering tide of Northern discontent. Let me quickly say something. What he should have done was that he should have actually visited the regions. But for some reason, for whatever reason, maybe he couldn't get out of Lagos or whatever, he wanted the Sultan to visit him in Lagos all the way from Sokoto. However, he says here, this is again his book by Shehu Shagari, it's called Beckon to Serve. But Iransi's task was not helped by the behavior of Igbo residents in the North. Since his assuming power, many of them had been loudly proclaiming the regime to be theirs, and even making a virtue of the January coup killings. Does that sound like what we read in the other book? Let me read that book again. It says, the attitude of some Southerners living in the North who became less friendly and provocative by displaying pictures of Major Nzogu and late Sardauna, they became less friendly, they became provocative. When you go to Shehu Shagari's book, it says that they were loudly proclaiming the regime to be theirs and even making a virtue of the January coup killings. This attitude spread from offices and public institutions to places like motor terminals and markets. Some Igbo shopkeepers even took to displaying large-sized photographs which depicted Major Nzogu standing beside the body of the slain Sir Ahmadu Bello, the former Northern Premier. Igbo people would draw attention to the Northerners to the photographs and say of Nzogu, Shine Maganinku, which means in Hausa, he is the one who can knock sense into you. Some Igbo also took to public playing of gramophone record called Machine Gun, whose celebratory lyrics of the January killings were interspersed with the sound of gunshots. Such unwarranted provocations naturally exacerbated the unease between Northerners and the Igbo. So I like the way Shehu Shagari made it very clear, it's Igbos. That one was being politically correct when he says Southerners. And by the way, I said something to somebody who was saying something to me on TikTok or on YouTube. To be honest, I think people are repeating the mistakes of the past, where you are jeering at people in a foreign space. See, forget that we're all Nigerians. If I go to Sokoto now, it's a foreign space. We're all in Nigeria, but it's not my space. So it's one thing for you to even go there and conduct yourself with sense. It's another thing for you to go there and tell those people that now we own this place now. We don't win. Our person don't become Oga. And then you start throwing that. We're talking about the what led to the war. We'll tie everything together. So we're talking about Ojuku's ambition. We have not really gone deep into it. We'll get into that later. But the killings during the coup was one of the reasons that this happened.